Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. And if you're a true General Hospital fan, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get started with today's video. The General Hospital, GH recap for Friday, July 17th, states that Jack Brennan, Chris McKenna, and Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, kiss, while Valentine Cassadine, James Patrick Stewart, holds the black box. Plus, Cody Bell, Josh Kelly, and Molly Lansing Davis, Kristen Vagnos, exclaim, "I love you." It's time to unravel all the drama from the July 17th GH episode, as CDL has all of the important scenes covered below. Brennan and Nina go to the Brown Dog for drinks following their unsuccessful black box search at Wyndmere. Jack is concerned that the WSB would transfer him following the Ross Cullum, Andrew Hawks, incident, and Nina explains why she crosses so many immoral lines to protect Willow Kane, Caitlin McMullen. Nina mentions that her daughters were taken from her while they were little. Nina was never able to protect them, and both had horrible and horrific childhoods. Now that she's a part of Willow's life, she'll do anything and everything to stay where she is. Brennan then apologizes for blackmailing her with the Willow/traffic cam video. He said he should have simply asked her out on a date. Then he may have met Nina before she saved his life. Nina felt as if he was holding the camera video over her head, but he also admitted that he wasn't good at appreciation. Brennan immediately stood up and gave her a passionate kiss. Meanwhile, Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens-Bruning, and Ethan Lovett, Nathan Parsons, sat across from the bar. They discussed Lulu's infatuation with Cassius Faison, Ryan Pavey, and she lamented ruining her friendship with Maxie Jones, Kirsten Storms, for a con guy. With that stated, Ethan noticed that Cassius' feelings for Lulu were most likely genuine. According to General Hospital recaps for July 17th, Ethan's shooting and recovery were discussed, and he asked his sister about the 411 on Ava Jerome, Maura West. This is when Lulu realized Ethan had affections for the art gallery owner. Lulu warned Ethan about Ava, saying she would destroy him if she discovered she was being duped. Ava went to see Brooklyn Quartermain, Amanda Setton, and brought a baby present for Phoebe Wilson, Lucia, and Luna Creighton. It is evident, however, that Ava was hunting for information. When Ava inquired about the status of the adoption, BLQ directly asked if she knew who Phoebe's father was. Brooklyn also suspected Ava was a middleman for Phoebe's father in terms of a payoff. Ava explained to Brooklyn that she was only assisting Alexis in connecting with Delilah Wilson, Lily Cardone, who worked at the gallery. BLQ inquired whether Ava had seen Phoebe's father in NYC. Ava remembered Ethan's confession in the stockroom, when he said he wasn't the baby's father. Ava said that she did not know who Phoebe's father was and advised BLQ not to hunt for problems. Donna Corinthos, Scarlett Spears, was dropped off to Sunny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard, residence by Carly Spencer, Laura Wright. Sunny was concerned about Carly and Valentine's romance and how it would affect Donna. Having said that, Carly clarified that it was none of his business who she dated. As Carly was leaving, Brick Stephen A. Smith came. After Carly left and some light conversation, Sunny got down to business with Brick. He wanted the man to gather information about Valentine, so he could remove him from Carly's life. Brick agreed, but only if he delivered the material straight to Carly. According to General Hospital recaps, when Carly returned home, Valentine was already making her dinner. They were all lovey-dovey until she mentioned Anna Devane's, Finola Hughes, return to PC. Carly was concerned that Valentine still had affections for Anna. Having said that, he likened his relationship with Anna to hers with Sunny. Valentine's first love, Anna, was in the past. Carly is in the future. The two resumed kissing, and Carly pulled back, nearly tripping on Brennan's black box. Valentine stated that he was looking for information at Wyndmere to provide to the WSB so that they might unfreeze his accounts. He stated that he believes it was Cullum's and would be beneficial to the agency. He only needs to see what's within it. Cody and Molly engage in conversation at the Q stables. Cody is still devastated by James West's, Gary James Fuller, reaction to the Cassius news. Cody is devastated, especially since James is the reason he remained in Port Charles and informed Max Scorpio, John J. York, that he was a son. James inspired Cody to be a better guy, worthy of Molly. Molly then expresses her pride in Cody, prepares him a s'more, and declares her love for him. He says that he also loves her. Finally, Trina Robinson, Tabiana Ollie, barges into Jocelyn Jack's, Eden McCoy, room at the hospital.
She's shocked.
Is she there because of a gunshot wound? She assumed Joss was out of town. This is when Jocelyn reveals her WSB status. Trina was startled and outraged that her best friend and roommate had lied for so long. She'd recently noticed how remote she was. Joss implored that she did not want this to separate them. Trina agreed. They decided to use a code word, popcorn, when dealing with issues Joss couldn't discuss. That way, she wouldn't have to lie to her anymore. General Hospital spoilers indicate that Jocelyn was also informed about Trina's new sibling and a music deal, so it's great that these two best friends were able to work things out and get along. Tension simmered as passions flared in Port Charles on another explosive day filled with secrets, reconciliations, and unexpected romance sparks. The story unfolded in several parts of town, weaving together lives intertwined by love, devotion, danger, and deception. After a futile search, Jack Brennan and Nina Reeves ended up sipping cocktails at the Brown Dog, a quaint haunt where people frequently sought sanctuary from their hectic lives. The air was heavy with the weight of recent failures. Jack, still reeling from the perilous Cullum operation, drank shots of whiskey, his customary harsh manner tempered by tiredness and worry. He confessed in Nina about his fears that the WSB would transfer him to an unattractive position as punishment for the mission's problems. The black box, critical evidence or leverage, remained missing, and the consequences loomed big. Nina listened carefully, her own insecurities surfacing. She open-talked about her daughters, who were taken from her when they were young and forced to face horrible childhoods without her protection. The anguish of those missed years tormented her, fueling her fervent commitment to protect Willow now that she had the opportunity to be a part of her life. There were no lines she wouldn't cross, and no sacrifice was too tremendous. Jack's demeanor shifted as he took in her words. He apologized for manipulating her earlier and using Charlotte as leverage with the traffic camera footage. He didn't express thanks poorly. Instead, he stated that he should have asked her out on a date and gotten to know the real Nina before circumstances forced them into life-or-death alliances. The moment hovered between them, full with unspoken attraction. Jack rose from his bar stool, drew Nina closer, and kissed her passionately. The surprise was evident on both of their faces. The partnership had developed into something lot more intimate and intricate. Nina, caught off surprise but sensitive, sensed the beginning of something new among her conflicting emotions. Jack, the ever-present operative, had let down his guard, showing a guy capable of genuine connection beyond spying and manipulation. Across the bar, another sibling conversation occurred with its own set of cautions. Lulu Spencer sat with her brother Ethan Lovett, complaining about her strained relationships and previous errors, especially her disagreement with Maxie over Cassius. Ethan, still recovering from his shooting, turned the conversation toward Ava Jerome. Lulu instantly identified his curiosity. She warned him sternly. Ava was a dangerous lady who had caused a trail of broken lives and worse. Men who misjudged her typically paid a high price. Ethan acknowledged the dangers, but swore he knew what he was doing, his charm concealing darker motives. Lulu's protective instincts erupted, urging him to proceed with caution in what she perceived to be the major leagues in comparison to his previous encounters. Meanwhile, at the Quartermain estate, Ava paid Brooklyn a visit, bringing a lovely present for baby Phoebe. The talk suddenly became probing. Brooklyn, protective of her new family, probed Ava on the adoption and whether she knew Phoebe's biological father. She was concerned about prospective custody threats and pondered if a payoff might maintain calm. Ava kept it cool, explaining she had just connected Alexis with the appropriate gallery where Delilah worked. She denied further knowledge and told Brooklyn not to start issues where none existed. The adoption would be finalized soon enough. Better to focus on the joy ahead rather than the shadows of the past. Brooklyn remained suspicious, knowing Ava was keeping cards close to her chest, but the conversation ended on a weak note. Carly Spencer came at Sonny Corinthos' home to hand off their daughter Donna, using the bag of neglected items as a suitable reason. Sunny wasted no time addressing her about her blossoming relationship with Valentine Cassadine. He saw Valentine as a clear threat, not only to Carly but also to Donna and the family. Carly fought back vehemently. Who she dated was none of his business, especially considering their convoluted history. As she was about to go, Brick came, and Sunny went into business mode once Carly left. Sunny charged Brick with delving deep into Valentine's past, looking for any information that could neutralize the threat and remove him from Carly's life. Brick agreed to investigate but established boundaries. Any information would be forwarded straight to Carly for her decision. There is no manipulation behind her back. Sunny agreed to the stipulations, his protective instincts as a parent and ex-husband taking precedence over any other worries. The mobster's passion to protect his world shone brilliantly. Carly returned home to a beautiful scene. Valentine was preparing supper, and the aroma filled the room with warmth. Their kisses and conversations were genuine and sensitive. But Carly's thoughts lingered on Anna Devane's return to Port Charles. She expressed her insecurities. Did Valentine still have feelings for his first love? Valentine reassured her thoughtfully. Anna would always have a special place in his heart as the lady who taught him about love, just like Sunny did for Carly. But the past did not determine the future. Carly was his present and future. Their embrace tightened until Carly almost fell over a curious black case on the floor. Valentine revealed that it was the black box he had retrieved from Windermere, which he believed belonged to Cullen. He hoped to use it as leverage against the WSB to unlock his assets. Though he hadn't opened it yet, fearful that security procedures would destroy its contents, he recognized its significance as a potent negotiating chip. The discovery provided another dimension of mystery to their evening, combining romance with the high-stakes games of Port Charles's power players. At the Quartermain stables, Cody Bell and Molly Lansing Davis shared a calmer, more private encounter. Cody felt guilty about James West's reaction to the Cassius realities. The boy had been a spark for Cody's development, inspiring him to take his place as Mac's son and aspire to be better. Molly comforted Cody, proud of his selflessness. She expressed Felicia's gratitude for him being the one to deliver the terrible news. Molly took the lead when they roasted s'mores by the campfire, telling Cody she loved him. He warmly reciprocated, and their kiss marked a turning point in their relationship among the commotion around them. The most emotionally charged scene occurred at the hospital. Trina Robinson stormed into Jocelyn Jack's room, surprised to discover that her best friend had been admitted with a gunshot wound. She'd assumed Joss was out of town, and the falsehoods and distance had tested their once unbreakable tie to its limits. Trina wanted answers, her pain seeping through every word. Jocelyn, exhausted yet determined, finally confessed. She was a WSB agent. It began with her search for justice following Dex's murder, tracing down Cyrus only to face the terrible reality of that world. Jack Brennan had recruited her, providing a way to prevent risks like Cyrus from harming others. The job required secrecy and lies to protect those she loved, particularly Trina. Trina absorbed the shock, assimilating the information that explained Jocelyn's recent estrangement. The frequent lying had destroyed trust, leaving their friendship feeling one-sided. Joss shed tears as she begged for understanding, scared of losing her lifelong confidant. Trina acknowledged her anguish, but also recognized the relief of finally knowing the truth. Their lives had separated, with Josh in the shadows of international intrigue and Trina navigating her own family and career pathways. But the basis remained. They agreed to rebuild, but under new restrictions. When Joss couldn't reveal anything due to her job, she'd say popcorn. It was a simple code, a method to convey classified things without telling more lies. Trina would not press, and Joss would not have to break her pledge. The code phrase broke the tension with a modest, hopeful smile, serving as a creative bridge across the gap of secrets. They talked about lighter matters, such as Trina's new brother and music chances, reinforcing their friendship as best friends capable of weathering even the most stormy storms in Port Charles. Throughout the day, threads from broader battles entwined. Sunny's vendetta against Valentine revealed deeper paternal concerns and unresolved affections for Carly. Valentine's ownership of the black box gave him an advantage in WSB negotiations while compromising his romance. Nina and Jack's kiss hinted at a possible romantic partnership, providing Nina with a new emotional anchor following her losses. Lulu's cautions to Ethan highlighted the dangers of becoming involved with Ava, whose own interactions with Brooklyn implied hidden intentions related to the baby's origins. Molly and Cody's I love you interaction was a shining example of genuine passion in a society riddled with manipulation. Joss and Trina's reconciliation, sealed with popcorn, highlighted their friendship's endurance and adaptability. As twilight fell on Port Charles, the implications of these interactions promised more ripples. Will the spark between Jack and Nina survive the hazards of his WSB life? Could Sonny's strategy with Brick succeed derail Valentine while avoiding alienating Carly? Will Valentine discover the black box's secrets before it backfires? And how long could Joss keep up her double existence with the new rules safeguarding her closest friendship? Port Charles inhabitants handled love and loyalty with the precision of operatives, and their choices profoundly affected the hearts of those who witnessed them. Secrets inevitably surfaced, as did second chances and surprising passions. Every kiss, confession, and coded word in this close-knit group held the potential for upheaval or regeneration. The drama was far from ended, with alliances shifting and hearts tested in ways that kept everyone guessing what would happen next. Port Charles was packed with secrets, coded messages, and unexpected romantic tension as the day progressed. The drama escalated when personal feelings collided with risky missions, leaving numerous people wondering where their true allegiance lie. Nina became embroiled in yet another complex conversation with Brennan at Metro Court. Their relationship has always been difficult to define, falling somewhere between mutual respect, intrigue, and evident attraction. Brennan maintained his normal air of confidence, but there was a softer side to him that emerged whenever Nina was present. The two talked about recent events and the escalating threats against numerous persons in town. What started as a guarded interaction gradually got more intimate. Nina acknowledged that life had become increasingly stressful. Between family tensions, numerous misunderstandings, and the persistent sense that danger was never far away, she confessed to wishing for something simple and honest. Brennan listened attentively, demonstrating a level of comprehension that startled her. He acknowledged that they had both spent years making difficult decisions and lived with regrets. The emotional discourse produced an intimate setting. Their boundaries progressively came down as they shared aspects of themselves that few others ever see. Nina admired Brennan's candor, and he seemed moved by her vulnerability. The tension between them was tough to ignore. Eventually, words were no longer sufficient. The scene culminated in a passionate kiss that none of them appeared to expect, but neither resisted. For a little period, the tumult of Port Charles subsided as people welcomed the prospect of a new connection. However, they both realized that nothing in life is ever straightforward. The kiss may have brought them closer, but it also generated numerous worries about what might happen next. In other news, Jocelyn continued to navigate her risky relationship with the WSB. Although she has demonstrated daring and intelligence, the reality of espionage is far more complicated than she had anticipated. She was determined to prove herself, meticulously following instructions while attempting to conceal her behavior from those closest to her. When Jocelyn discovered a coded message related to her goal, a seemingly innocuous reference to popcorn became the focus of attention. What looked to be a simple phrase was actually an important piece of communication within the company. The odd code underlined the WSB's clandestine character and revealed how even the most basic items may convey concealed meaning. Jocelyn combed over the clues, realizing that every element was important. She realized that one mistake could endanger not just herself, but also those she cares about. The strain was heavy on her, yet she remained focused and determined. As she decrypted the message, it became evident that much larger activities were taking on behind the scenes. The information suggested an operation with potentially devastating repercussions. Jocelyn knew she was getting more immersed in the world of spies and clandestine operations than ever before. At the same time, she battled to keep normal connections. Keeping secrets from friends and family has never been easy, and the burden of deception has only increased. She questioned whether she could properly balance her normal life with the new duties that surrounded her. Throughout the day, several additional Port Charles residents sensed that huge changes were on the way. Conversations had an undercurrent of uneasiness, and several individuals found themselves reflecting on recent decisions. Alliances altered, trust was strained, and hidden motives gradually emerged. For Nina, the kiss with Brennan signified both promise and danger. She has been through heartbreak and disappointment several times, making it difficult for her to fully trust her feelings. Nonetheless, there was something unusual about the situation. Brennan appeared to offer compassion and companionship at a time when she most needed it. Brennan himself seemed conflicted. Although he clearly cared about Nina, his tangled relationships and hidden lifestyle could provide substantial challenges. Their increasing friendship may land them in unpleasant situations in the future. Meanwhile, Jocelyn's participation with the WSB propelled her into a future she never envisaged for herself. The popcorn code served as a reminder that she is no longer just watching events from the sidelines. She is now an active participant in perilous operations where each decision has major repercussions. As dusk approached, the atmosphere in Port Charles became increasingly strained. The questions remained unsolved, and numerous characters found themselves at an emotional crossroads. New loves, hidden ambitions, and covert missions threatened to transform everyone's life. Nina could not forget the kiss she had with Brennan. Despite her efforts to stay cautious, she sensed a rush of exhilaration and possibilities. At the same time, she realized that opening her heart again might expose her to further pain. Jocelyn faced a different type of challenge. Her increased responsibilities require maturity, courage, and constant monitoring. The cryptic message reinforced the sense that she is entering a world of limited trust and constant risk. At the conclusion of the day, one thing was clear: nothing in Port Charles stays tranquil for long. Relationships continue to change, secrets become more convoluted, and unexpected events keep everyone on edge. The kiss between Brennan and Nina may mark the start of a surprise new chapter, while Jocelyn's WSB mission promises even more suspense in the coming days.